Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Fatina Wahab binti Abdullah. What is SDG? The Sustainable Development Goals are a continuation of the Millennium Development Goals, which were 8 targets that led global action on the eradication of extreme poverty in its many manifestations from 2000 to 2015. While the Sustainable Development Goals continue the thematic work on eradicating poverty that was started by the Millennium Development Goals, the Sustainable Development Goals are universally applicable to all countries around the world, eliminating the distinction between developing and developed countries. The SDGs will have an impact on government strategy and contributor priorities. Institutional donors have already begun to use the SDGs to direct the movement of income into their organizations. Numerous governments are putting together national sustainable development plans that incorporate actions on the objective. Next is importance of SDG. Sustainable Development Goals, often known as the Global Goals, are a series of 17 goals targets that were agreed upon by the United Nations General Assembly in 2015 for the year 2030. A global call to action, the Sustainable Development Goals are intended to eradicate poverty, safeguard the environment, and ensure that all people live in peace and prosperity. The Sustainable Development Goals establish clear principles and targets for all countries to adopt in accordance with their priorities while taking into consideration the environmental difficulties that the entire world is facing, since environmental problems involve a huge number of arguments.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Azimah binti Suman and I am from AM1105B. So my point is the description of the program. In 1998, Envisioning a Future Without Hunger, Ray Buchanan with United Methodist preacher was launched Stop Hunger Now. In 2017, Stop Hunger Now rebrand to become Rise Against Hunger. Rise Against Hunger's work in the realization that solving hunger is more than just feeding people, which inspired Rise Against Hunger to target its feeding programs, regions where we can have a significant impact and expand its hunger fighting activities beyond meal packing and distribution. Our organization's strategy to solving hunger depends on creating a worldwide network of hunger champions. Rise Against Hunger meal packing volunteers prepare millions of healthy meals annually that are then provide to partners in nations throughout the world. Those partners are most positions to address the cause and effect of hunger based on their local presence and knowledge. Another fundamental objective of Rise Against Hunger is reacting to crises, both natural and man-made. From drought to flood in conflict zone and changing political circumstances, food is typically the most pressing need. When ordinary access to food, income, and market system are shattered in the aftermath of calamities. Rise Against Hunger works via a network of in-country partners to meet this need. Last but not least, to alleviating hunger is around grassroots community empowerment. Rise Against Hunger bolster agriculture productivity and income through initiative encouraging improved agriculture practices, business skill, and market access. The next point is important of the organization. The first important is health and nutrition. Undernutrition is now the world's single greatest threat to child survival, accounting for nearly half of all child deaths. We seek to enhance the health and survival of the world's most vulnerable children under the age of 5, as well as pregnant women and nursing mothers, in both humanitarian catastrophe and more stable setting. Next is food security and livelihood. Extreme poverty and a lack of access to sufficient nutrition food are frequently associated to hunger and undernutrition. Food security and livelihood initiative at Action Against Hunger aim to empower vulnerable communities by increasing their access to food, income, and market. Next is hygiene, sanitation, and water. Action Against Hunger is improving the health of vulnerable children and families through the work and reducing unnecessary child deaths. The next point is respond to an emergency. Action Against Hunger is dedicated to saving life and alleviating suffering as a humanitarian necessity. Our goal as an international humanitarian organization is to respond to the needs of those afflicted by natural catastrophes or armed conflict while also maintaining their dignity. The next point is innovation and research. This is the last point. Action Against Hunger's program in terms of effects, scalability, and sustainability, as well as advocating for evidence-based developments in global policy and practice. Our team lead a comprehensive research and innovation portfolio, collaborating with a wide range of partners.
My name is Alicia Pintimasi. I am from AM1105B. The first point of activity is agriculture and income generating initiative. In growing country, farmers are a number of the maximum means insecure contributor of society. Farmers are confined via way of means of availability and affordability of high satisfactory seed and fertilizer. Rise Against Hunger pursuit to grow agriculture, manufacturing and earning through application selling progresses, agriculture method, enterprise abilities and marketplace get entry too. Our program facilitates smallholder farmers construct resilience to the shocks and stresses of weather, alternate via way of means of selling ecological technical to agriculture in addition to diversification. Through enterprise training, we assist people grow their income capability and as a consequence, their steady get entry to meals. Second point is our events during COVID-19. At Rise Against Hunger, we have worked for the beyond numerous weeks to decide how high satisfactory to keep achieving 2 million lives global even 500 plus volunteer occasion are on preserve and our meal stock is hastily shrinking. Best practice around hand washing, hygiene and heeding of occasions even as sick and ignorant with the CDC's recommendation are tips we put into effect in any respect of our occasions. The third point is from emergency to sustainability, school feeding in Zimbabwe. When a drought hits a farming network, the effect is extreme and the recovery long. Muzananso, the most important at one of the collaborating faculty, highlighted the problems of college students previous to the faculty feeding initiative. By growing meals manufacturing in the network, household end up greater meal secure and faculty can buy surplus meal for the faculty meals. Through the venture, oil prices had been furnished to the faculty. The last point is micro-enterprise initiative seek to provide financial stability for Vietnam's women. Childhood starting remains a persistent problem in Vietnam, and almost 2.1 million children underneath the age of 5 are considered too short for their age. Providing advanced earning opportunity for women is a key pathway to ensuring get admission to finish and nutrition diet for Vietnam children. The empowerment through enterprise software will teach the women on organization and economic literacy talents in conjunction with writing and advertising approach in an effort to then be funded with a small grant. In spite of the numerous worrying conditions they face, the mothers we meet display tenacity, poise and a strong determination.
The suggestion for improvement of the program Zero Hunger is with fostering gender equality. Gender equality is another important solution to global hunger into important areas, which are agriculture and maternal childhood. In many of the countries where concerned works, female make up about half of the agricultural workforce, and according to data from Food and Agriculture Institution, they produce on farms with equal access to resources similar to men may increase by 20 to 30%. Secondly, reducing food waste. 1/3 of the food produced, more than 1.3 billion tons, is wasted. Ending food waste is a fundamental change, but you can participate in it simply by reducing your own food waste. Thirdly, with enhancing crop with biofortification, limited resources such as land, labor, and finance. The poorest farmers focus on growing a limited number of crops such as corn, rice, beans, and sweet potatoes. All bio-enriched plants promoted by concern are the result of traditional breeding in the countries in which they were promoted. Next, suggestion for the improvement of the program Zero Hunger is with improving food storage system. The traditional method of drying vegetables preserve macronutrients and prolong shelf life. Working off sunlight exposure, solar dryers are eco-friendly devices that speed up this process while reducing pollution and minimizing nutrient loss.
For the conclusion is, The Sustainable Development Goals (SDG) are a set of global goals aimed at eradicating poverty, protecting the environment, and ensuring that all people live in peace and prosperity. In order to address some of the most important concerns confronting this world today, such as poverty, climate change, and conflict, the Sustainable Development Goals offer us with a shared agenda that brings everyone together to bring about positive change for both humanity and the environment. Moreover, following years of serving Rise Against Hunger Lunch, Network contributed to planning to implement homegrown faculty feeding.